think I'm going to love it here.
Wednesday, unprepared moments when actors go off script. It is not unusual for an actor to skip a line that is written in a script. Nevertheless, it is very unusual for an actor to skip a line that is given to them by a professional director who is highly talented and successful. Because of this, the reason why Jenna Ortega cut a line from Tim Burton's television show Wednesday is still a shock. Thus, you need to continue watching in order to learn the truth about it. Jenna Ortega reveals line from Wednesday's script she avoided. Netflix's popular series Wednesday actor Jenna Ortega has confessed there was one line in the screenplay that she refused to utter. After portraying the title role of Wednesday Addams in the newest series to premiere on Netflix, which is a brand new reimagining of Charles Addams' renowned Addams family, Jenna, who is 20 years old, has acquired an enormous amount of notoriety. The actress from Fallout, who has been praised for successfully embodying her character's gothic aesthetic, has recently disclosed that she struggled to get a sentence that was described as cringe deleted from the screenplay. The precise remark in question may be found in the 4th episode of the series, which centers on the yearly dance at her school. While Wednesday and Thing are out and about, Wednesday may be seen looking longingly at a frock displayed in the window of an antique store. During a question and answer session with Netflix, she said, "I remember there's a line where I'm talking about a dress, and originally she was meant to say, 'Oh my God, I'm freaking out over a dress. I truly hate myself.'" Jenna continued by saying, "And I was blown away because it sounded like it was just a lot of tiny stuff like that." She elaborated on her reaction to the information. "I had the impression that we were able to circumvent the need for a great deal of conversation in an effort to make her seem human." Fans of Wednesday congratulated Jenna on reaching the final cut. On TikTok, a fan said, "Gotta give kudos to performers who know their roles better than the authors sometimes." Another person chimed in, "I'm so relieved that she didn't say it." According to a third user, without Jenna, Wednesday would be an ordinary gothic adolescent. Unprepared moments when the Thing go off script. So how exactly did the shooting of the sequences with Thing go down? Netflix has released behind-the-scenes photos of Victor and Jenna Ortega working on the show. In the photos, Victor can be seen wearing a bodysuit called a blue screen, which covers every inch of his body except for his hand, which is referred to as the star. Jenna Ortega is also shown working on the show with him many times, and this is despite the fact that the Thing presented him with several opportunities in which he was required to detour from the script. Yet he performed an outstanding job in spite of this challenge. In the meanwhile, he furthermore sported a severed wrist prosthesis for added measure. The whole procedure was quite challenging. The Thing was constructed from the ground up. During the Wednesday night red carpet event, Victor shared his thoughts with Pop Sugar. "Improvisation was key, and we focused on keeping things as genuine as possible," he added. In the meanwhile, Jenna disclosed to Screen Rant that the creator of the character, Tim Burton, intended Thing to be portrayed by a real actor, similar to how he was in the movie from the 1990s. Jenna provided an explanation by saying, "Sometimes we would shoot something with him, and other times we would film with absolutely nothing there. We never used the tennis ball for that target. Instead, we shot with the stand-in's hand. Either I was collaborating with an actor and giving him feedback, or I was staring at nothing the whole time." When asked about the personality of Thing and its ability to communicate, Jenna responded by saying, "It was really amusing because the Thing language was simply made up on the day." She added, "Each and every day we would appear and then go, that seems to be the case. I get the impression that I am somewhat familiar with what he is saying." Despite the several hours that he had to spend in the uncomfortable blue morph suit in order to make Wednesday's TV magic happen, Dora Bantu is pleased with the job that he did as Thing. Although the final result has all of Dora Bantu's hand acting, as directed by industry veteran Tim Burton, the rest of him was painstakingly painted out of the series. No one was able to figure out how to accomplish it. We worked together to come up with concepts. Dora Bantu explains to Tadam the procedure, which involved various strategies such as having a dolly carry him around so that he could move more quickly. We didn't have anything to start with, literally zero. At the conclusion of the shooting, Dora Bantu had achieved such a high level of synergy with his hand that it was almost as if it had a consciousness of its own. You can observe the whole laborious process that went into making Thing a thing by watching the film. Tim Burton reveals he connected personally with Wednesday's script. There are some pairings that simply seem born to happen, and one of them is undoubtedly filmmaker Tim Burton and the Addams family. It is difficult to imagine that this has not already happened, but the Netflix series Wednesday made the gothic Addams family fantasies of fans a reality when the program premiered on the streaming service in November. One particular aspect of the project is what first piqued Burton's interest in working on it. On Wednesday, Tim Burton nearly participated in an Addams Family production, but this is not the first time he has come close to doing so. He ultimately passed up the opportunity to direct the 1991 adaptation for the big screen, which starred Christina Ricci as the daughter of Raul Julius Gomez and Angelica Houston's Morticia. He also had plans to make a stop-motion animated movie in 2010 based on the Charles Addams cartoon strip, but those plans were scrapped. Burton is finally bringing the crazy family to screens for Netflix with Jenna Ortega in the titular role, and he told Empire magazine what eventually attracted him to the brand. Jenna Ortega will play the part of the title character. When I read this script, it just talked to me about how I felt in school and how you feel about your parents and how you feel as a person, he said. It introduced a new dimension of reality into the Addams family's world. In 1976, I was a senior in high school, and I went to the prom. It was the year when Carrie was released into theaters. At that prom, I had a distinct impression that I was masculine Carrie. I had the sensation of needing to be there but not being a part of what was going on. Those sensations, despite your best efforts to rid yourself of them, refused to go. You should know that Wednesday and I have the same perspective on the world. Given that Wednesday Addams, the Addams family's daughter, had just a supporting part in the films in which she appeared, the concept of Wednesday is already rather fascinating. The inclusion of Tim Burton into the equation makes this better for a variety of reasons. The filmmaker has built a career out of bringing social misfits to the attention of audiences via the medium of film and television, and Wednesday is without a doubt included in that group. Even though she would gladly empty a bag full of piranha fish into their school swimming pool, Wednesday definitely makes her presence known amongst the other pupils at Nevermore Academy, even if she will never be able to fully fit in with the group or if she sometimes avoids some lines from the script. Wednesday is a fantasy murder mystery that is depicted as a coming-of-age story of the character. This character has been expelled from 8 different schools. She ends up being enrolled in the private school of Nevermore Academy, where she becomes entwined in a mystery that leads to discoveries about her own parents. This coming-of-age narrative takes place at Nevermore Academy, which also serves as the book's title. Even before the first episode airs, it is clear that this could very well sit alongside many of the much-loved movies by Tim Burton, such as Edward Scissorhands, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Beetlejuice. However, the new take on the Addams Family likely became one of the biggest hits on